Now we know 50. It's been a while since we have, mentioned it. 50 as it relates to music or making, putting out dope product. He came out the gate though. We know that. We were.
Yeah, it's an undeniable classic out the gate.
Yes, no doubt about it. I don't even want to. I don't even think that's a discussion. We're good on that. But with 50 dropping his last album, I don't know. To me, it's like he is going so far beyond music now. With all the stuff that he's doing in TV,
it doesn't even matter anymore at this point.
Yeah, I don't even think it's going to hit with it being his last album. But what do you guys think is going to be bigger for his legacy in terms of how people remember 50? Because I've always associated 50 with music up until his recent surge in the TV game.
So, I mean, he's not going anywhere.
No, I'm not saying he's going anywhere. I'm just saying once the music is quote unquote done, and he'll probably still drop records associated with the shows and stuff like that.
You got to kind of sum it up to in the past 10 years.
What do you think?
What has 50 Cent been known for? He hasn't really been known for his music in the past 10 years.
Nope.
It's more so his online presence.
Yep.
Trolling and TV shows, producing, things of that nature.
It's funny you said trolling, and I agree.
Not necessarily his music. So I think it's actually smart on his part to go ahead and just say, let me focus on this other lane.
Go ahead,
because
Greg,
this
just
is
bow
really
out.
working for me.
Yeah.
And keep it pushing.
Is there any level of, we remember we were talking about anticipation for projects and who would get you excited?
No.
Does this even
rank? I'll listen to it. I'm sure
Don't do
everybody
that long.
in here will listen to it at least once, but I haven't been excited about a 50 Cent project probably since The Massacre.
Ever. I've never been excited. No. I mean, I Get Rich or Die Trying is a great album, but I've never been excited to hear 50. Even when him and Kanye had their little back and forth thing, I was like,
I remember that.
I'm not going to listen to 50 Cent.
That's when Curtis dropped. Well, I'll take that back. His first 3 albums, I was tapped in.
Yeah, they're good.
After Curtis is when I kind of was like, yeah.
Before I Self-Destruct had some joints on it.
He had some joints.
The singles
here
didn't hit, but like there were songs off there that were really good.
He had one called Animal
Planet.
No, like after
there was a lion.
After
on the cover.
after he got done with Interscope, like that's when
Did it feature LL Cool J?
No,
See?
that's when I stopped paying attention.
I mean, if it had animals on it.
Stop, man. The only reason I checked for that one is because the homie Nonsense and QB had a track on there.
I remember that.
Yeah.
If he drops an album that sounds cohesive enough to be like the themes to his TV shows,
right,
he might be onto something.
I was going to ask what you guys think.
Every one of those hit. Every single one of them.
A lot of people like on Friday and Saturday nights, whether night he's playing, Lockstar or I will play This Is a Big Rich Town. Not the one with Trey songs on it because nobody liked that. But with Joe. Those records that he makes for, I love the I don't even know who sings it, the theme song to BMF.
Yeah.
At least you could wish me luck. That's an incredible, theme song. Hopefully there's a full record of it somewhere.
I don't even watch the shows, and I know him.
Yeah.
I think 50's going to start I think after he does his album, he'll start sprinkling in more joints associated with those they'll probably still be fire.
But this is the thing, and I know, being an artist for artist's sake is, a lot of what we champion here. But at a certain point, and this is where 50 is, he's bigger than rap. Like I can't bring myself to say I'd really get excited when the 7 oh no, not only one more 50 Cent rap. I'm not really like that.
Yeah.
But if he told me he was gonna stop making TV shows, I'd be a little bit more dismayed because that's the I'm keep it real. Big. And this is not a commercial, but the only reason I keep stars is because 50 has something. He's got a new one coming on February 6th.
Immediately, it's like you can't even cancel it.
No,
it's like I was gonna cancel my stars, and now there's a new power coming out. So
when I worked for the cable company,
like
when before he had his shows going back to back to back like he does now, I remember like after like the season finale of I can't remember what it is, might be the second season of Power at that point.
Yeah.
And that next day, we got so many calls. People were like, "Yeah, I'm going to get rid of Stars right now." Like they didn't want to pay. Like they felt like there was nothing else to watch but Power. They would get it for Power and then drop it as soon as it was over.
They killing them out there with that.
I was doing the same thing.
Power Book 3, Raising Kanan, BMF. I didn't watch 2, which people have told me has gotten good because I couldn't get through the end of the original Power.
Ghost.
Yeah, because I was like,
I
stopped watching it.
These drug dealers are on the cell phone a little bit too much for my liking.
We've seen The Wire.
Yeah, I was like, come on, fam.
Yeah.
Like this, you should know a little better than this.
That's what got BMF caught up was the cell phone.
Yeah,
literally.
So, but like I said, I can only get so excited about 50 Cent's music, and if he tells me, okay, I'm gonna do one more album, I'll take it or leave it. But like right now, he's made himself bigger than rap in this Hollywood game. Once you get there, we're not talking about recoupables.
He's almost been there ever since he had Vitamin Water. Honestly,
I mean, he's been rich for a minute, so it's not like
tapping in.
He's been rapping for the money
here and there.
Had video games
and does not need the music.
I guess for me, I'm curious about the sound. 50 Cent has always been smart. He always knows how to select production.
He also picks up and coming producers,
right? Which I've always loved about him
historically.
Yeah. So I've always, but I don't want to hear 50 Cent try to. I don't know how to say.
Look,
I don't
get that from 50,
I don't know if we can get.
You know what I mean?
I don't know if we can get a grown up 50 Cent. Like Nas grew up. Jay-Z
definitely grew up.
I don't know what a grown up 50. Because 50 Cent said 444 was like a something you play at a golf course. You know what I'm saying? Like he's just not there. I mean, mind you, the 444 several years ago now, but come on, like because the people who love 50, they want to hear that gangster-ish, but that was 20 years ago.
Right. Like what is 50 Cent going to be
50
talking about?
50 Cent has told people when they was like, yo, come back to the block. He's like, no, I'm not coming back. I see exactly what happens when people go back. And I got too much to do so that's not his life anymore. Southside Queens, Jamaica Queens.
Yeah.
He doesn't go back. He if he wants to see anybody from there,
F50.
They can come see him.
True.
Ferrari F50.
Yeah, I think I just want to see the production credits track list and see what the direction is. That's pretty much that would be one thing that I
You're
would
good with, because I'm
possibly
just not that
anticipate.
interested in the music.
Yeah.
Like I said,
I mean, I respect
50's bigger than rap now. I stay focused on making this TV show, fam.
Yeah. I mean, but like y'all said, as y'all talked about with the songs that have been associated with the shows, those have been fire. So maybe that carries over into the record.
If he can catch lightning in a bottle like that on a whole album,
exactly,
I'm gonna give him his P's. But until then, I'm gonna keep watching Stars, and even he even had the show on the Felon. What was that show?
For Life. It was on ABC.
Yeah. He was part of that show.
That's him too.
Yeah, that was him too.
That's him too.
Yeah, 50 out here getting that
he
bread.
He knows what he's doing as far as that's concerned. So, hey, that's where it's at for him.
Yeah.
Well, maybe I'll be on the
Tell
island.
us how the music sounds.
Yeah.
I'm gonna listen to it.
I'm gonna run it, man. I'll be on the island on this one. I just want to see how 50 sounds now and what the updated 50.
I've never been like a huge 50 Cent fan as far as like being a rapper or anything. Like I think he's made good records.
Yeah.
And stuff like that, but he's just never been impressive in outside. He's kind of an anomaly to me, I guess, because he makes really good records, but I've never paid attention to anything that he says. Like ever.
Like I remember when Wankster came out and everybody was so impressed. I was like, what are y'all? This is what y'all going crazy over?
That.
But I mean, when In the Club hit, I mean, it was undeniable.
Well, I think they was more so excited that somebody was going at Ja Rule so openly, because Ja Rule was kind of running the airways at that point.
Well, this is very true.
I mean, but with 50, he's always been able to pick good records. So like, I remember when Window Shopper hit, I was like, I like this.
Yeah,
I like
this
this song.
record.
The song is dope.
Like we just was talking about The Game. The Game's first album was pretty much supposed to be 50 Cent's second album, and he gave Game those tracks in order to
that might be one of the biggest
dope release.
That might be one of the biggest alley-oops I've ever seen in hip hop. He tossed him a lob with those joints.
Did. There's no
those
way.
Are full records.
There's no way that Game should have been going at G Unit the way he was doing when you were pretty much handed a classic album.
Yeah.
He's an emotional fella.
Yeah.
Emotional fella. Nah, I'm telling you right about that. He shouldn't have had nothing to say
Nothing.
because they laced him.
He
They
should have been
laced
very
him.
gracious. Games, even his whole ascension to stardom was very short. Like he literally, like he could have been known for the dating game show.
True.
But he
Oh,
literally
change your heart.
he got shot, was laid up, decided he wanted to start rapping.
Yep.
Start rapping. Was heard on like a freestyle tape or radio show or something, and just ascended from there. He probably was a nobody to somebody within a year's time in rapping.
Mm-hmm.
And the people that he had around him, that's not even, it's almost unrealistic to get that type of lift up.
Well, because he had the
with the people that
projects
he had.
that he did earlier in his career before he got to Aftermath. I want to say that he did stuff with the Black Wall Street and then
Yeah, he was bubbling, but it wasn't.
but it wasn't. And then like the first time I heard him was when he did what was it, Certified Gangsters with Jim Jones
Jim
and
Jones,
them.
yeah.
But it was really the direction. Because honestly, he had been at Aftermath for a while.
Yeah.
And then, 50 was like, okay, we can do this, 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 and this. How we do, Hate It or Love It, those were 50 Cent songs.
Man.
But, it is what it is. We'll see.
I'll see for you.
We'll see if we actually care about new music from 50 Cent and Game soon enough.
From both of them, agreed. If I had to have, anticipation, it would be more for Game and Hit Boy, obviously, than it would 50's
I thought
album.
Tony Yayo was your favorite.
Out of G, you thought that was my favorite? Well, man, Tony.
I thought you were a Spider fan.
Well, Tony has some. He has some moments here and there.
Young Buck had a dope album.
I agree.
His first album was crazy.
Yeah.
I agree. Long, did you like?
I don't like any of these people. And I don't even mean that as any. I mean, I guess you can take it as disrespect, but it's like.
So I took it as disrespect.
Yeah, I mean that's fine. I mean,
I took that as disrespect.
But all I mean by it is like I never got into 50. Never like overly impressed me.
You didn't
Outside
have
of
a
his-
G-Unit wife beater?
No, outside of like the fact that he could make hit records and he had great producers and production and
Great
executive
production.
producers around him.
Yeah.
Same
Yeah.
with the Game. Like Game's made some crazy records, but to me it was more about the people he had around him than him. And so like I don't mean like I don't know like so when I listen to the Game or any of G-Unit, I'm just not enthused in general.
I respect that. That's your opinion. I can dig it.
But if they drop a record and it's good, it's like all right, cool, But I couldn't
Never-
I couldn't even quote you a 50 Cent bar.
You know what? You might be onto something there because
It's just his product, his
No,
overall
it's the-
product is so good.
as much 50, I'm not saying I'm the biggest 50 Cent fan, but what you just said is real. I don't know of a lot of 50 Cent quotables. Like where it's just like, remember the bar 50 said where he said, you can say that about.
He's not a quotable artist. Like
He's not.
that, though.
But you know what? You know why 50 Cent kills it and why when during his ascension and why it worked, he knew how to write a hook and
sure
he knew how to
did.
create.
Absolutely.
He was
Yep.
probably the best songwriter at one point in hip hop, and
Yes.
it wasn't even close.
He used to
And
say
I'll give
it.
you that. I'll give you that because I feel like songwriting, just overall songwriting, choruses, hooks, production, overall product, yeah, for sure.
He used-
But like if we single out like just him as a rapper, like I'm not interested.
If you think about it, he used to say all the time, forget the Grammys, like I'm going to we going to the Billboard Awards. I'm writing
Right.
these songs. He used to talk about that all the time, and he was.
And that too, yeah, and I would agree.
Yeah, he was
personally.
killing the charts.
So.
Great songwriter. You got to give him his P's on that. I agree with that. But
I
yeah,
mean,
there's no.
I mean, you put enough money around anybody, you can make him a star.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And he
You
has
know
the
what?
persona though.
But at
he
the same
has the
time,
persona
I've
in order
seen
to
them
make
put
himself
money
look like
around
that.
people, and nobody gave a F.
Yeah, but I've also seen the opposite.
Yeah, we seen. Yeah, we.
No, I mean I understand, but there was some like sometimes the stars line up for somebody because there's a chance if 50 Cent came a year earlier or a year later, it wouldn't have worked.
It wouldn't work like
but
that.
We tried. He
Yeah.
was.
Yeah, I mean, when he tried it
That
before
was
he
his
got
second
shot.
run. It's kind of the same way with Drake though. Him and 50 Cent are similar in that because they came out, it didn't happen for him, and then something else happened, and then they were able to get on like they
Right.
wanted to.
And it was a rap after that.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
marketing.
So
all
I mean,
marketing
it's
money. It's
I mean,
marketing money.
You could say that with any artist. Like you could put the same push behind him. Like I've always said that with Nelly. The stars line. If he comes a year earlier with the same records, it doesn't work. If it comes a year later, same records, it doesn't work. Just because the marketplace, especially, well, even then, people, you know, for you to grab somebody's attention, it happens so fast, and you have to. There are market you know, things that happen. We receive the music. Like I remember. Like radio really wasn't trying to mess with country grammar outside of St. Louis, but the thing is, the people loved country grammar. So like, when there were still markets that had the box, and you could call up and get.
As long as you can see the video, then that's
when the video
right
dropped. You know, like that was part of what they said. Wait a minute, people like this record.
Yeah,
because the industry,
some people,
some people, because but that's the thing. The industry did not pick Nelly. They didn't want some kid from St. Louis in this low budget video, because country grammar, comparatively speaking,
wearing Band-Aids all wrong.
When everybody had $1 million video, they was Noriega had $1 million video. That's how hip hop was moving at that point. And here's this basically video with just regular people in it from the neighborhood.
Video was kind of low budget than a mother.
Now that was low budget.
No, that was low. But you know,
that was almost culture shock.
Yeah,
I mean, it's kind of like, wow.
No, when I saw,
are they in a junkyard?
No, when I saw, you couldn't ignore seeing a yellow Ferrari in the middle of the hood in New Orleans. You couldn't act like you didn't see that. No. But like, this I know this for a fact. Like all the nice cars in the country grammar video, those were just people's cars.
They was people from the neighborhood. It was just
because
the same thing was going on here. Yeah, that's why people relate, like especially Midwest, because when you see the country grammar video, it looks like where you're at.
These weren't
and then he's shouting out Midwest states in the song.
Go and look at the country. There's no clearly these are girls from the neighborhood. These this is probably some dope boys Navigator. Like
it still ain't as bad.
Very
it still wasn't as bad as as high.
Hey,
no.
Or back that thing up.
Yeah.